Ryan, why were you half an hour late?
Well, I didn't know we were doing it this way.
Wasn't it your idea? That's what I heard. Your
Okay.
idea, and then,
Well,
took a little nap or something.
yeah, but at the same time, oops, my bad. I don't know. I don't have much of a defense. I was just on campus, so
He was trying to study. We can't be mean about this.
yeah.
He's being diligent.
Yeah, I'm a good student, I think.
I was about to say, well...
I mean, hey, I'm passing everything, and that's what matters. And I'm passing pretty well, too. I have A's and B's, so... I'm taking really boring classes. It is good to know that book smart
doesn't really translate to dexterity. How many times have you died in Elden Ring? What percentage have you contributed to this whole 9 billion deaths thing?
I mean,
like
I haven't played that much of the game. I just made it to Godric. So, like, I beat Margit the Fallen. I actually beat Margit on stream, and I have a VOD. So, if you want the link to that VOD, I can send it to you, and you can see how bad I really am.
But how many times did she kill you? I can see what not to
do, yeah.
But probably over 100, maybe, because it's my first Souls game ever, right? And so some people went in, like my buddy Jacob went into this game with the knowledge of Souls games. And, like, for me, most games I play are like story-driven narrative RPGs, or like Red Dead Redemption 2, like that poster behind you, or like Days Gone, or like I play a lot of Call of Duty, and I never really grew up playing games with boss fights in them because I don't know, it's just never something I did. Yeah. And then everybody's like, Elden Ring's so good, you got to play Elden Ring. But as somebody who doesn't play a game like that, like part of Elden Ring that I recently it clicked, like you're supposed to die.
Oh, 100%.
And every other game that I play, dying is relatively simple to avoid depending on the difficulty you're playing on, right? And so dying is like, bad, you messed up, bad. But an Elden Ring boss comes out with a whole new phase that you don't anticipate, and it kills you. And that just pisses me off, but it's supposed to kill you. So you can be like, okay, next time I go in, I know this attack is going to happen when he gets to this much health. But it took me a while to understand, like, you're supposed to die in Elden Ring.
Yeah. It's kind of like nice from a psychological perspective, letting go that sense of I failed, disappointment, and actually it's about just improving and learning and trying again. Once you let go of that, it took me ages. I was exactly the same as you. It took me ages to let go of that and actually just be fine with dying. And people still come into the stream and be like, how are you just fine? You've been at this one boss for 3 hours. How is this fine for you? How are you not screaming? And it's like, well, you've got nowhere else to be. I'm getting better every time.
A little on the inside, though, right? Like, you have gotten frustrated at Elden Ring before, right? Everybody has. There's no way you haven't.
When it's
just watch her EEG. You can see
like the spikes in brain
I get
activity.
mad when the EEG doesn't work, but that's not fair because that's not Elden Ring. I've chosen to do this. I get mad when it's like you say, like a random move that I've never seen before, and I've done this boss fight like 200 times and I've never seen this move, and it takes me off guard. That annoys me.
See, that's kind of like oh shit, hold on, let's cut here, do the actual intro, and then we'll go into the actual topic. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, who wants to do the actual... I thought
you forgot to record yourself.
No. I was expecting some sort of technical difficulties. God damn it, Caleb.
I mean, to be fair, we are like, what, 3 for 6? 3 episodes out of the 6 have had some sort of technical difficulty so far. This is number 7. So...
Hey junkies, welcome to the Joystick Junkies podcast. I'm Perry or Pericarial, a Twitch psychology streamer, and today I have with me Ryan.
Hi, I'm Ryan or Release Radar on YouTube.
And Caleb.
Hi, my name is Caleb Boudreau. I'm the editor-in-chief of An Extraordinary Life.online. So awesome. That was great. So today, one of the biggest things I want to talk about is, we're Ryan, you've been dying a lot on Elden Ring, and the death toll's already more than there have been.
I'm pulling up my hours played because I'm taking a lot of shit for somebody who just doesn't play Elden Ring.
9 billion total deaths in the first year of Elden Ring alone.
Yeah. And most of those are Ryan.
I've got 2 hours and 5 minutes played in the game. There's no way I've died.
That is worse. That is worse for the number.
Like, that has got to be the most impressive thing, to have 9 billion deaths in 2 hours. Like, what the fuck?
What I did is I modded the game, so I just kept spawning at the edge of a cliff that was fall height, so I would just keep dying over and over and over again, right?
Well, did you know that of that 9 billion, 14%, I read, said the infographic from the company, 14% was full damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14. That's amazing.
That's funny.
Insane. I always feel
around
bad for
1.2
having
billion. Over 1 billion deaths are just gravity.
Yeah.
Like,
gravity is the hardest Elden Ring boss. That's what everyone always says.
You know, like, it's. I've joked about it with Death Stranding, how the biggest enemy in Death Stranding is actually just the environment itself, because you constantly have to go over mountains, figure out ways down mountains, up hills, you know, all of these things. So, such a
Yeah. I mean, Sons of the Forest, I imagine it's not even the enemies, it's just not having enough water. Does water kill you in Sons of the Forest? I forget.
Well, so you can
give
drown.
you like dysentery.
That's quite
Do you
fun.
still have to purify it like in the first one?
No.
Okay.
In the first one, all of the rivers are freshwater. There's not even a rain catcher in Sons of the Forest like the first game. Like in the first game, you kill a turtle, you rip its shell off, and then you can put that with some sticks upside down, and that catches water whenever it rains. But in Sons of the Forest, just build next to a river, and you have an infinite supply of fresh water.
Sounds pretty easy.
Very useful. That's nice.
Oh,
It's
and
a lot.
really good.
It's a lot easier than the first game because you also get a shotgun at some point.
Yeah. Because aren't you a PMC?
Yeah, so you were hired by a private military company to find a billionaire and his family who were stranded on the... I don't want to get like too in depth because I don't want to spoil it, but I'm playing it for a second time right now with some other friends. And what I don't like about Sons of the Forest is how they give you like a GPS and it just shows you the location of everything. Every point of interest and every single cave is on the GPS. Because in the first game, the map in the second game is 4 times larger, so I can kind of understand why they did it. But in the first game, you had to find the caves and you had to memorize where the caves were. And I had done that. And so the map's like, it's the same for every single time you play. It's not like a randomly generated map or anything, but like you just have all the caves and all the points of interest and all the dig sites just on your GPS, which you can pull up on all times. Like a cool way to balance that would be to have the GPS run out of battery or something. And then you would have to like charge it or something. So you can beat the whole game without even like building a base or fortifying like and surviving. You can just go to every point of interest and just get a little bit of food on the way and you can beat the whole game. And that's just kind of not the point of the forest, though, because like you're supposed to build a base and fortify your defenses and then go out and do the story stuff. But
have you seen Let's Game It Out's playthrough of that? It's freaking hilarious. So Let's Game It Out is a YouTube channel that tries intentionally to break games. So like he built this huge tower and put his little NPC follower friend like just does whatever he can to just torture him. And
Kelvin.
Fucking Kelvin.
Like fucking puts it, like builds a box around him and it just takes a bunch of logs and just throws it into the box before he picks him up. It's like, hey, you still alive in there, pal? Hey. And then like picks him up and then like he just stands there being crushed by all these logs and just doesn't do anything. Like it's hilarious.
Kelvin.
Oh yeah.
I like the girl with 3 boobs. Does she have 3 boobs or is
no,
it 3 legs?
I think it's 3 legs.
3 arms and 3 legs, not 3 boobs.
Well, they missed a trick there, didn't they?
3 arms,
Like,
3 boobs, 3 legs. I mean,
they have to keep it consistent.
You know, yeah. And I mean, but at least with 3 legs,
I can't spoil why she looks... there's a reason why.
Don't spoil it.
Don't spoil it, but we're still going to make fun of
it. Resist.
But with 4 legs, she has more of a chance to be on WikiFeet because, you know, that's something that we do on this podcast.
3 legs. I can't... Are her feet just out? I haven't paid attention to that. I'm gonna have to boot up the game to check.
Yeah, but the deaths in Elden Ring, I didn't believe it at first. I thought, no, there's no way. Like, they've completely... There's some sort of weird clickbait article that's just saying this. And then I did some maths on it. And that's like... If there's... I think there's 10 million average... Not average, but there's 10 million, something like 10 million total players in Elden Ring. There are 62,000 concurrent at any one moment online, which is insane. 10 million sort of total. So that would be... What? 900 deaths each, I think it worked out. But don't take my word on this.
And see, that's
which is
the crazy,
plausible.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing, because in boss attempts alone, there's only been 5.9 billion boss attempts. So a lot of these
in boss attempts,
right? And so how I haven't even fought Malenia. I can't even get to her.
Oh, I'm on her now.
Oh, I hear
she
she's
does
fun.
mess you up.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, that's why you have to summon Let Me Solo Her, and he'll take care of the whole boss fight for you.
I can't do that. What with the challenge run? I have to like do it properly.
What's the challenge
Otherwise, all
run?
the little TikTok boys will be on my ass. Well, I'm doing it with my brain, so I'm like controlling the game with my mind. Yeah, and because it's like a special thing like that, I can't sadly get Let Me Solo Her to do it.
Yeah.
Is he still?
But Let Me Solo Her's doing a
for it?
new thing, isn't he?
I don't know.
He's doing something where every boss is millennia or something like that, or
Every enemy is Malenia.
every enemy.
If I remember correctly.
Wait, so
Even
like
the little,
even
like-
just like the birds with the sharp, like, are there flying millennias now? Because those birds with the sharp pointy things in the castle, are those flying around as millennia now? Like, that's terrifying.
They were already annoying.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so according to Kotaku, Let Me Solo Her is playing Elden Ring, but every enemy is Malenia. Every enemy, not...
I love it. In the Dark Souls community, everyone is just trying to one up each other of how much they hate themselves.
Yeah,
I know,
that's
I hate
that's
myself
honestly
more
what
than
it
you.
is.
Yeah. That is exactly what it is.
And like, I'm gonna bring up a controversial take to the whole like get good commentary with Dark Souls and Elden Ring. Like, what if you just simply don't want to? What if dying over and over and over and over and over and over and over 900 times in a game just doesn't sound fun to you?
Well, then you just need to
'Cause,
get
like,
good.
But that's the thing. Like, I understand the Elden Ring community is just like, get good, but like, why?
Do you have this opinion because you're just not good, Ryan?
I have this opinion because I have that giant list of games I need to beat, and Elden Ring's on
Yeah,
that
you're
list.
taking too much time.
Yeah, no, it's like,
No,
yeah,
I
you're taking
agree
too
with
much
that.
time. Like, I have other games that I want to get. Like, look at this. Other games that I want to get my money's worth out of. Elden Ring's on this list, but I have like
You're just bragging at this point.
Oblivion. I didn't buy.
100%.
I only bought two
That's
of these
exactly what's
games.
happening here.
Okay, I only bought 3 of these games at full price. The rest of them were Steam sales
amazing.
because these are older games. So I have like Mass Effect 2 and 3, The Outer Wilds, Hellblade, The Ascent, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, Grand Theft Auto 4, BioShock 1 and 2, the Batman trilogy, Morrowind, Oblivion, Middle-earth: Shadow of War, and Middle-earth:
You can just
Shadow
say
of Mordor.
everything.
That's all of them.
I have everything.
Just you know.
There's
Just
too
all of
many
them. I have
games
the whole
on
Steam
Okay,
library.
actually, I'm interested to look up this number. How many
So-
games are on Steam?
Oh,
Too
my
many. Apparently,
Oh,
my
so many.
my dad fell into
10,963.
goodness gracious. My dad found out what dating sims are, so that's interesting.
That's information you don't want to know about your dad.
Your dad.
He's doing dating sims.
Is he doing the one
So,
where you like date the
I don't
colonel
know
from
if-
KFC? You know what I'm talking about, right? I think
Yeah.
PewDiePie played it like 2 or 3 years ago.
But no, I went over one day. He's like, "Yeah, I found this new interesting game," and I was like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah, I think it's Come Home." I was like, "Interesting." So I'll look it up, and yeah, that's exactly what kind of game it is. And I was like,
No.
"All right,
You should suggest Doki Doki Literature Club as like a dating sim romance.
I'm gonna have to do that." But
And then
Poor
just
thing.
watch him get scarred.
I mean, to be fair, I've seen some things with that man. But
trauma incoming.
No. Just, helping him recover from his stroke. Limited mobility.
I see.
Yeah.
I completely understand.
But,
like at the camp that I volunteer at, some kids aren't fully mobile, so you have to help them with everything.
Love the man to death, though. But yeah, so Let Me Solo Her. Did y'all see that a while back, July of last year, Bandai Namco actually sent him a real sword from the game? Like, crafted a sword. I didn't show you that.
No, I haven't seen it.
So they sent him a sword, a robe, like a congratulations with his name. It's not like something that they just send random streamers. No, it was made specifically for him.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Oh yeah. But
he really is.
Speaking of legends, LTT got hacked.
Dude, yeah. No, and, so that whole video was so funny.
People are starting to request the nude Linus version on the streaming site Floatplane.
Yeah. Dude, I saw a comment on, I don't know if it's still top comment, but it just said, and I quote, "Imagine being balls deep at 3 a.m. and then you get a call from your best friend that your life's work is being ruined." Because Linus was butt-ass naked. Because, I know they're not censoring him being in his underwear because they have full HD photos of him, modeling in the underwear that they sell. Him and his wife are both models for the underwear that his company sells. So I know it's not the underwear. Yeah, LTTstore.com.
That's disgusting. Where?
No, but
where? So I can make sure to stay away from it.
I bet Dennis was the one who had to edit that as well. Dennis is always the butt end of the joke at LTT. No, but the thing is, it's literally impossible to keep your data 100% safe. If you're a company at the size of LTT, or if you're just a dude like me and Caleb, or just a lady like Perry, it's impossible to keep your data safe, because if you become a public figure, every single password for every single thing that you use needs to be long, needs to have multiple caps, multiple numbers, multiple symbols, or you're going to get hacked. So if you use the same password for everything and you're trying to become a public figure, you got to change your passwords now, because somebody's going to try to hack. It wasn't even that.
It wasn't even that.
Yeah, I'm getting to that.
Oh.
Yeah, but then also that's passwords aren't secure, but then human error is just unfortunately a thing as well. And we actually learned about this, and I've known about this for a long time. And my grandparents have been hacked a couple of times as well. But basically, if you get an email with a from an attachment or something, and you don't recognize it, or you're a little sketched out, but don't open the attachment, because if you open an attachment and it's a bad attachment, it just you're screwed. It's gone and stolen all your browser cookies, looked at all your users and passwords, and it got out like that.
Yeah. What's getting worse than that now? The exploding USBs.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh my god.
Well, they have ones that'll do that, and then blow power supplies too. They'll take out entire computers.
Oh my god. It was Iranian journalists, I believe.
I don't think it was Brazil, I believe.
Oh.
So,
Ecuadorian.
yeah. So, and that's another thing with cybersecurity, right? You should never grab a random USB that you've never seen before and just plug it in, because you don't know if there's any viruses, you don't know if there's any malware or anything that'll just copy everything on that computer and automatically upload it to a server without you knowing. You don't know what's there, or it could just blow the fuck up,
Because they were these Ecuadorian journalists who were just randomly mailed a bunch of USBs, and I think luckily they only put the one in, and it exploded, and they were like, okay, let's not try the other ones.
Yeah. Well, that's so weird. Maybe it's this computer. Let me try it in this computer. Just go
maybe it's my internet or something.
We journalists have to hire bomb squads now just to plug in USB drive. Because I understand why they would plug in the drive, right? Because they're journalists, so there might be information in there for a breaking story or something, right? So they want to plug it in and see what the data is.
And that's probably how it happened. A source probably source probably reached out with a story that sounded too good to be true, but this was supposed to be the proof. And the moment they plugged it in, it went destroying everything that person was working on. It's
terrible because they're saying that it's a message to kind of silence journalism in Ecuador, and it's, they don't know the exact motive, I believe. Maybe they do now, but when I last saw it, they didn't really know, and it was kind of to silence journalism and restrict free speech, and it's all about that sort of thing. And crime in Ecuador has been on the uptake, apparently, according to the president.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me. I've always heard, so like with a background in journalism, I wasn't in journalism for a long time professionally, like working for an actual syndicated company. But I was always taught when coming up in the journalistic field that journalism is sort of like in the US government, for instance, there's actually 4 branches. There's the executive, judicial, and legislative, and then there's the journalists to keep them all in check. Because as long as the people know what the other 3 are doing, they have a chance to stop it or vote them out, however that works.
Yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't go that way that often anymore with how easily manipulated the data stream is now. I mean, I don't genuinely believe there's journalistic integrity for most major outlets. I believe they're paid to shut up. That's just my opinion. A lot of corruption in every single branch of every government.
Yeah, I mean, ChatGPT thinks that after a while, journalists won't be needed anymore. So that's good.
Just have AI do all the writing for everything.
Oh, Per, I didn't send that to you. It was it was a satire article because everybody was like, all of the journalists were like, "Oh, ChatGPT will never be it'll never, be that big of an issue." And then, all of the crap with CNET and them using it for like 50, 60 articles, having to go back and fix it. They got bigger and more emboldened, like AI's never going to replace us. So they did a satire piece about how instead of journalists thinking ChatGPT is not a competitor, ChatGPT thinks journalists aren't that big of a competitor. It's great.
Yeah, no, AI, it's just all so fascinating to me. As somebody who was like a fan of science fiction, I never thought about how we would realistically see the beginning of AI. I always thought about like Cortana from Halo. And we're a little ways away from that, but then also all we have to do is make something like ChatGPT, have a 3D model, and then give it a voice, an AI voice, and then bam, we're there.
Yeah, I don't know how far away we are from Cortana actually, assuming she's not actually sentient.
Well, yeah, I don't think
but...
we will have sentient AI. Like the thing with computers and technology, we have the ability to just make sure they don't ever become sentient.
Do you think that's true? Because what is the difference and how will we ever know?
Well, how do we know that we're not sentient technology, right?
Yeah.
There's so many different theories out there. Like we could just be a smaller cog in a larger machine. Like who knows?
Matrix.
That's what I was
it could be the Matrix. But there's so many different theories as well. Like, what if we're all our entire universe is like an atom inside of a different, larger cosmic being? Like, who knows? There's literally no way to know.
Welcome to the Conspiracy Junkies podcast. So, flat Earth, guys.
No, that's just wrong.
Delicious, like a pizza.
See, my favorite one is they paid for the whole documentary, like Netflix documentary, to prove that flat Earth was real.
Yes.
And then at the very end of it, they take him up into the balloon and they start to see the curve. Camera drops and that's the end of the documentary. And they still aired it. It's not like they just sunk the footage, destroyed the footage, whatever. No, they still edited it.
Well, I guess
cut
at
it together
point,
and still aired it.
If the
at
Earth
that point,
was
it probably
flat,
wasn't their decision. It was probably Netflix.
Maybe.
I imagine.
Yeah, if the Earth was flat,
upsetting.
somebody would have done a TikTok of themselves throwing their phone or jumping off the edge or something like that by now. Like,
oh yeah,
there would be some viral video of somebody jumping off the edge of the earth. Like,
yeah, they definitely do that. Yeah, I'm experimenting with speech synthesis now, and I was totally freaked out at how far AI has come, because what I did is I'm using this 11 Lab speech synthesis software, and I literally just read about 10 minutes of Harry Potter, I'm British, classic, and put it in, just gave it to this program, and I now have a like text to speech chat thing that is my voice and speaks like me, and it's really creepy, and it works beautifully. Like, it sounds like me. I recognize it. Sometimes I get confused and I think maybe I'm playing like an old VOD or something, but no, it's just someone in chat, and they'll say like really controversial statements too as well, like, I think we should kill the elderly.
We
like,
should do an AI voiced podcast and just can the AI communicate with other AIs? Like, is that possible?
I don't know.
Because like, if we could figure out how to do that, I would want to do a Joystick Junkies AI podcast where we don't even show up. It's just the AI talking to each other. That would be
amazing.
Cool. That would be an interesting experiment.
Yeah, we actually use AI at An Extraordinary Life with like some of the interviews that we do. We actually, at the time of recording, it comes out tomorrow. We have an interview with a couple that produce OnlyFans content together. Fun couple, but to do their actual like interview, the interview is like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And the way we prefer to do like articles and interviews and stuff is we want a transcript first. That way, if you remember, like, say we were talking about feet, for instance, all I have to do, just to fuck with you, Ryan, all I have to do is Control F, type in the keyword, and it'll bring me to every time that was said. With like a video or an audio interview, you have to then scrub and wait until you hear it or listen to it just to find that specific instance. But with a transcript, it's so much easier because you can come back to it like a month or two later and not remember where you talked in that interview about that. And before OpenAI was acquired, they developed something called Whisper. And oh my God, it's fantastic. Like an hour and a half interview in 15 minutes. Already, it spits out a transcript like that. And all you have to do is watch it and then like correct its formatting.
Yeah.
But the only time it ever messed up was whenever two people are talking at the same time, it'll confuse its words. Or what's the other one? If you're laughing while someone else is talking, it won't type in the word. But it's pretty interesting to see. But glad we're talking about AI because Ubisoft is thinking or started developing an in-house AI to help with writing. So it was, according to Ubisoft, it was actually put out, like somebody leaked it before they could actually explain what it was. So everybody was like, oh, this is stupid. Like, why the hell are you doing this? It'll make games so much harder. And like video game writers were starting to get on to them about it. Like, we're supposed to be crafting these stories. And they're like, guys, here's the real reason we're doing it. And it's just for like, I think they call them,
like narrative side quests and stuff, right?
No, it's basically whenever you're walking around and you find different people, like different people throughout the world, like you bump into somebody on the street and they're like, hey there, or I used to be an adventurer like you until I took an arrow in the knee, things like that. That is what
so just like randomly
ghostwriter is used
randomly procedural like NPC dialogue.
Correct. And
Okay, so
it's called NPC barks.
Okay, yeah, because it's just like random one-liners they say if you like
Correct.
run over them with your horse in Assassin's Creed Origins or something like that.
Yeah, so that it's
That's cool.
not all the same. They have tremendously more that are like unique, you know.
That's a good idea. It seems like quality meme content is going to be produced from
Oh, 100%.
But the problem with that is they're going to have to also voice act that work. So it can't be an endless amount because they have to pay for a voice actor
That's
to
where
say
voice
it all.
synthesis comes in.
Yeah, well, maybe not.
Wait, so they're going to be using an AI to do it? See,
It
I
might.
think all of the
never
writers
know.
who are saying like, "Oh, this is stupid," like I'm going to put money down right now. Like I'll put $1 because I don't want to do anything stupid. I don't gamble. But Ubisoft is going to be one of the first big companies to do something like this, and every other company is going to follow.
I mean,
Because
to be fair,
imagine,
they were trying to push NFTs, like with
okay, but there's a difference between NFTs. NFTs are stupid, but AI can really benefit the gaming industry. Because, like, imagine Grand Theft Auto 6 has, 50,000 unique AI-generated random NPCs that you can see in the world. And then all of them have their own lines that they can say, and they're voiced by different variations of an AI voice generator, so they all sound slightly unique. That would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone had, so there's only two companies that I was semi on board with. One that I'm definitely on board with their how they were going to implement NFTs. Wired Productions, the publisher for Martha is Dead. To them, NFT stands for no fucking thank you. So
Yeah.
I'm 100% behind that. But the second, I can see it going bad, but the way Ubisoft were talking about doing them, I could kind of see.
Well,
So the way they wanted to do them. Well, no, I knew no one was going to buy them because it was going to be like horrible. It was they were going to find a way to mess it up implementation wise. So let's get that out of the way. I'm glad they didn't go through with it. But
they took down their
they were
video on YouTube.
talking, huh?
They took down their Ubisoft Quartz video on YouTube.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I was
quite
probably downvoted to hell. But they were essentially going to like weapons. You could buy them from creators. Like, oh, my favorite creator used this gun in this playthrough. Things like that could have been fantastic for like creators or things like that, where you can legitimately prove like, hey, I am using the same sword in Elden Ring as Perry used, for instance, but it wasn't going to work. Like, cause
like they pitched like it would be like an item that you can take with you to any game. So you're telling me I can bring my M16 from the Division into Assassin's Creed and just mow down these Templars in Egypt? Like, huh? That
We
no.
might have to hit him with it like a sword.
Yeah, or do run around bashing him to death with the gun. No, but so the trailer that's left up on GameSpot trailers has 668 upvotes and then 15,000 downvotes.
Oh, that's damning.
like I said, they were definitely going to destroy that implementation. They were going to find a way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
And like
it's
people,
all very dystopian, isn't it?
Yeah, and
It
people
is.
clown on Ubisoft a lot, and like they do deserve some of the criticisms they get, but then at the same time, they're not trying to be Rockstar. They're not trying to be Sony Santa Monica with the games they produce, right? They're not trying to be big, huge AAA like gourmet games. I think Ubisoft games are more fast food gaming, right? They're not gourmet like Rockstar or Sony Santa Monica. They're
that's
more
the case,
junk food gaming.
If that's the case, though, look at not God of War, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Like, to do everything, it is far from fast. Like, just the main quest is like 80 hours. I
don't mean
say.
fast food in the sense of like it's fast.
You're talking
I mean, like junk.
quantity over
yeah,
quality.
it's junk food
Gotcha.
gaming. Yeah.
Yeah, what comes to mind there is Phoenix Rising. Really enjoyed Phoenix Rising, but it's definitely it's very sweet and very simple. And
So what are you guys
Compared to
actually
something
playing
like-
right now?
Oh yeah.
Playing right now? Ironically enough, I've been playing quite a bit of Assassin's Creed Origins because it's on the list of games that I need to beat. And then I've also been playing, or not yet, but I'm very excited for, in 2 days, The Last of Us on PC. I cannot wait.
I need to play The Last of Us.
Ultra-wide monitor support. I'm going to be doing a Steam Deck benchmark video. That's going to be my video for this week. And then I recorded a video and got it scheduled for next week as well. Already this week. I'm so excited. I love The Last of Us. And I'm actually going to play this before I watch the show because I want to I want to experience the story in the game, because the game, in my opinion, is substantially better than a show because you can actually interact with the game.
Yeah, but I know you haven't seen the show, but there are. I'm just gonna say some.
I've seen the first 2 episodes.
Okay, like some things in the show are better, but
I mean, they did have time to rewrite because it's been 10 years since the game initially came out. The game initially came out in 2013.
Yep.
So they've had time to be like, that one story beat, we didn't like it. Let's just change it a little bit in the show. They could do that. But it's still a pretty faithful recreation of the game from everything that I had a friend, I went to the dog park the other day and I had a friend talking to me about the second to last episode, and they're like, oh, you played the game, you know what happens next. I'm like, okay, tell me what happened in that episode. Spoiler alert, by the way, but it was where Ellie was, attacked by that man, I'll say, right? That's the second to last episode. And then so she's like, do you know what happens next? I'm like, yeah. Do you want to know what happens next? If that was that last story beat, I'm like, so, Joel's unconscious still in the snow. And she's like,
la 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 la.
But, yeah, no. So it's, the ending, I'm like, I know what's going to happen, but text me after you watch the episode and let me know if it's the same. And it's the same, which means The Last of Us Part 2 is coming. And,
you did not
I spit on that game.
I haven't played any of The Last of Us. I didn't know anything about it. I've not seen anyone play it. But I'm loving the show.
Now that it's on PC,
it's 100% worth the time.
Okay,
100%.
Exciting. Is Pedro Pascal in it? I assume not.
No, but if you get it on PC,
get
it on PC, you can definitely change. With the
there's a mod. There's definitely a mod in his underwear.
But how far did you get in the show?
Not 6 episodes, so please.
But there's only 2 left then, right? There's only 8, right?
What was the last story beat that you saw? 6 episodes. Did they make it to the university? No?
I feel
you are not
really
6
scared
episodes.
Tentative.
Okay.
So let's just not risk spoiling.
We're not gonna risk it
I feel like we're in a minefield.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
on me. I should have finished it by now.
But I will say, and this is kind of a
just
spoiler,
have your appendix. Just have your appendix burst and have it removed. I guarantee you will have more free time than you would know what to do with.
Oh, perfect.
All right. Well, so you know how in the beginning of the show there was that time jump from when the infection first started up 20 years, and then the show actually kicks off. And so I don't think this is that much of a spoiler, but they're gonna have another time jump towards the end, and they're not going to recast Bella Ramsey as Ellie for the time jump because she's gonna go from being a teenager to a young adult. So they're not recasting Bella Ramsey. And so do you think they're there was a lot of criticism for that actress just not looking like Ellie.
Oh, but
that's
now
bullshit.
Now but she is definitely Ellie.
Yeah,
After
but at the same time, Ellie's character in the game is only supposed to be 14. Now, I don't know how old Bella Ramsey is, but I think it's weird that people
19,
complain.
Actually.
Okay.
People complained not just about her not looking right, but being not as attractive.
Yes.
As a child.
Yes. Yeah. They're she does not look as attractive as Ellie did in the video games, and it's why are you attracted to a 14-year-old in a video game
who doesn't even exist? It's just code. Damn, and those ones and zeros.
I can't compare it to the game, of course, but Bella Ramsey's been fantastic. She's a fantastic.
See, so I wonder if you're going to have the opposite effect.
Yeah, maybe I'm going to like it less when they switch actresses.
They are 19 years old.
Yeah.
Born in 2003.
Yeah, so I wonder if you're going to have the opposite effect, though, that I did with seeing Bella in the show. I wonder if you are going to see, Ellie's character in the game and be like, that's not Ellie,
yeah. That's not Ellie.
Even though Ellie's character in the game.
I love Bella Ramsey's.
I think you're going to like Ellie in the game more because it's one of the best video game performances I have ever seen.
Oh,
wow.
Especially that
hands down.
What happens in the first episode of the show. I have played through the game. Okay, so this is going to show you. I'm going to go to my bookshelf here. This is going to show you how big of a Last of Us person I am.
You're going to get the collector's edition statue or something? Or does he just have like 17 copies of the game? Welcome to GameStop. Oh, wait, no, I mean Caleb's room. He has it on PS3, PS4, and PS5.
Why?
Because I bought it when it first came out.
Okay. And then,
they
then you bought the remaster.
it for PS4 because I was doing an article on it, needed the screenshots, and it was $10-20. And then whenever it came out on the PS5 with all of the haptic feedback and everything, I was like,
I see that. Fair enough.
But then they were like, oh, it's going to be on PC. And I was like, And then they were like,
buy it again.
No, I don't think I'm going to buy it on PC.
Yeah, it's funny.
Probably will, but I'm going to tell myself that I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need another copy of the game.
It'll be great because when it comes out on PC, I'm completely sure it's going to get like a week of blossoming on Twitch. Oh, yeah. Everyone's going to be playing it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is nice. That's my time. That's when I strike.
This is when you shine. This is what you were made for.
Like, this game's trending. Time to just weasel my way.
Yeah.
Such a Twitch streamer mindset. Well, it's just like on YouTube when the new game's out, everybody's like, well, yeah, I'm going to do a let's play of this game or a let's play of that game, right?
Yeah.
I'll see
you
that.
Have to. You have to. It's part of the game.
Oh, yeah. You should do the EEG of that. Just not like to control it, but just to show, because there are scary beats to it.
And like, do you have
having the live brain activity up here?
Yeah.
One of those heart monitor things, right?
Yeah,
like
heart monitor
the horror game streamers used to do. They used to have like a heart rate monitor when they were playing scary games.
My brain thing is way better than that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Amazingly better because it's like a 3D visualization. All the different frequencies you can show, and my brain is spinning like this, and they're all different colors, and it's whenever there's a jump scare, it goes bright pink and fills. It's amazing.
Okay.
See that I would watch.
Not to plug this too much, but
that I would watch.
Yeah.
So what are you currently playing right now, Perry?
I am getting more into just chatting, psychology, talking, and things like that at the minute, but I'm still finishing up the Elden Ring run, so that's gonna be soon. That's gonna be done soon. I'm waiting on my PC because I spilt coffee on it and I'm devastated.
What?
Why would you do that?
Well, it was the 10.
Is your PC on the floor?
Unit. Well, it was, because it's like brand new, so it was we were gonna move it, but for the time being, it was right next to me. And I have a TENS unit on my arm that chat can redeem, and it makes my hand go like this, and I don't see it coming, and it's completely involuntary. And I had a cup of coffee in that hand. And so I was just like, and it was the worst thing in the world. Everything was in slow motion.
Never crossed your mind that drinking liquid with the arm, that the shock thing with my PC, like it never crossed your mind.
Yes, it crossed my mind. Yes, I could. There were so many ways to prevent this from happening, and I didn't. And I just...
Like, my PC is all the way right there where you can kind of see that fan. Like, it is far away.
Which is where, if I get it back and if I manage to hopefully get all this sorted and...
Why?
No.
I haven't exactly been able to lift much lately.
Well, so, just for future reference or for anybody listening, if you ever get water on an electronic that's running, turn it off immediately.
Yeah.
Turn it off, unplug everything. Yep.
Turn it off, unplug everything.
Do not turn it back on.
Yep.
It's not dry. Leave it alone.
Like, here's the thing. You could wash your graphics card in the sink.
You can put it in a dishwasher if you want to.
Yeah.
As long as it's not heat, because if you put the heat cycle dry, then it'll melt or dry out the thermal paste. But you theoretically could put a keyboard.
You can wash your keyboard in the washing machine or whatever, right? Like, but you have to you have to wait until it's 100% dry to turn it on.
The moment
because otherwise, tiny little spark, and it's all gone.
Yep.
Yeah, especially with something like coffee residue as well, because the residue itself is conductive. So even when it's dry, it doesn't matter. It's got to be cleaned thoroughly. Hence why it's in the shop.
And that was your brand new computer?
Brand new.
The one that you were talking about with like the 4070 or whatever?
4080.
Okay, well, my bad. Well, guess what? I got a 4090, so.
Okay, it's not a competition.
Really badass over here.
Nah, so, but like what I do, I'll go off on like a quick little tangent here, is like I always like to have like, and I'm very fortunate to be able to do this, don't get me wrong, like to be able to have like the 3090 and then go to 4090, and I'm going to go to 5090 after this. But what I do is I sell my old graphics card, and then I use that money from the sell. And then now I'm very fortunate to be able to just have YouTube money that I've set aside that I can just use stacked on top of the money from selling the 4090, right? And then bam, that's enough for a 5090 or whatever.
Yeah, if you got it.
But at the same time, I use the absolute living crap out of my computer. I'm on my computer all the time, from college to work and to gaming. I spend most hours of my day in front of my computer. And I made like a TikTok, like a day in the life of me. And then some guys are just like, wow, you're inside all day. That's depressing. I'm like, I go outside like 10 plus times a day to walk my dog, and we walk all the way around the block.
But it wasn't on the video.
That's true.
Ooh, please
I think
tell
I
me
did
you
like
one of those influencer things. At 5 a.m, I woke up and drank a bottle of scotch. Because if you don't drink a bottle of scotch and smoke a cigar, you are not a real man, and you do not.
Is that an influencer thing?
Well, no. Have you seen like Dwayne the Rock Johnson being like, "I wake up at 4 a.m. and go to work out while you're still asleep"? I'm like, cool. I'm gonna be asleep at 4 a.m. Like, I like my.
So I figured I'd incorporate a little Kesha into that too. You know. Wake up in
I
the
don't
morning.
know. I don't associate that with TikTok anymore, because every time that comes up, I click not interested, so it's not on my feed anymore.
Yeah. Now, well, I just want to go off on a little tangent here about parkour podcast.
Hold on.
TikTok. Have you guys seen the court hearings in the U.S. about TikTok?
Yes.
And how stupid our congressmen and women look. It's just like, we don't want this Chinese company stealing your data. We want an American company stealing your data.
Hey,
why don't they just get people who are qualified?
Because they don't have the money. You cannot steal our citizens' data. That's our fucking job.
Yeah.
But didn't they like make that compromise? So it's going to be on American soil now, where all the data storage is.
Well, that was the first compromise. They had to have data centers in the US.
Which isn't much better, I'm going to be honest with you guys. That's not better, really.
No.
I mean, you use Twitch, you use Google, you use Twitter, if you use Facebook, if you use Instagram, if you use Snapchat, those are all American-based companies. Data privacy just doesn't exist anymore.
But from what I'm hearing, they're actually they kept referring to the CEO as a Chinese citizen, when in actuality he's from Singapore.
So he's just he's from Asia. And
they're like,
that's good enough. Everyone's Chinese apparently.
Yeah. Mark in my country. Thing.
Well, we think like as an American
around the world,
Yeah, well, as an American, like we are one of the top superpowers, right? That is a fact, and
spoken
things
like a real American.
Well, things like the internet and most social media did come from America, but at the same time, other countries have had other significant like inventions that have greatly benefited the world. But in America, they basically teach you like America's top fucking dog, America's number one, America's the best.
You guys praise the flag and shit. That is weird.
Oh no, it is 100%.
Well, so there's also.
But hold on, before you finish to do the whole flag thing. They've actually changed it too. So it used to be like, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
One nation under God.
Ew.
They added that
liberty
in the 80s.
And justice for all.
It used to be everything but that. They added that in the 80s to make the country a more Christian country, despite it being in the Constitution that that government and religion should never be linked. There's a lot of
Ah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it's a way to brainwash an entire generation to thinking that's the norm because that's what it was when I grew up, right?
Yeah.
And so because it's how it was when I grew up, that's how I think it always was, right?
Yeah. But like everybody's like, we should bring the Bible back to public schools, and it's like, no. First of all, if you do that, then sure, I'll back it. But bring the Quran and the Torah
Yeah,
and
I agree with that.
everything else.
Yeah.
You have to.
There's even parents, and then we'll get off of like the whole. I'll let you finish, Ryan, and then we'll get off the whole politics thing. But there's even a woman in Utah that, because they're starting to ban books out of public schools there, left and right, kind of like Florida, and
They still do that?
Oh,
I don't know why I'm surprised.
So Tennessee banned a graphic novel called Mouse. It's literally a graphic novel depicting his father's life before, during, and after Auschwitz. But because the Jewish people are mice, the Nazis are cats, and the Polish people that helped the Nazis are pigs, it is glorifying Nazism and it's anti-Semitic. I'm like,
how?
The author was Jewish,
the
explaining his dad's life through Auschwitz, and you're telling me it's pro-Nazi?
That's one thing that drives me crazy about American activism is how you have somebody who is not like in the group that's being targeted or in the group that is being like quote harassed and just get offended for them when the actual group just doesn't care.
Yeah,
I reckon it's an excuse. I think they're saying that because they actually have other problems with it. Probably they themselves might be anti-Semitic and they don't want something like that just like around, and they don't want people to learn about it. I mean, or they're Holocaust deniers or something, and they're just coming up with random excuses that they know everyone can get behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll let you finish, Ryan.
I don't even remember what I was talking about, to be honest. But I did.
We have flipped around a lot.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I sent you guys each a video though on Discord. So I did do the day in a life thing. A long time ago. I think it was almost like it was right when I first moved into my apartment or around that time. So I did do like a day in the life of like an online college student is what I called it. Because that's what I was at that time. And now I have like some IRL classes, but it's basically just me waking up and then getting to my computer and then going walking my dog and then coming back and going to the dog park and going to the gym. The car in that video has been totaled. Rest in peace, my Ford Focus. You will be missed. I got hit. That's one thing. I said this on, I don't know if I said this on the last podcast, but like I do think it should be legally required for you to get a driving refresh test every 4 years, because there are some people who are like 50 something and they got their license when they were 16 and they drive like absolute buttholes on the road and they think the road belongs to them and they tailgate you and they break laws all the time, but they haven't had to be tested on their road knowledge since they were 16.
Yeah.
What's the difference between...
I thought that was a thing already, but it's not.
Nope.
No. Once you get your driver's license at 16, you can basically drive until you go to the DMV to get your eyes tested and you can't see anymore.
Yeah, that seems silly.
But there's a difference between being able to see and reaction time.
It's okay though, because every time you get your license renewed every 4 to 8 years, you have to pay like $70 now.
What?
Oh, in Louisiana, it's like $70 for a license refresh.
I'm about to get my license renewed for the first time. I still have the
it is the answer,
the vertical
because
license.
The state gets money every time. So if we have to force them to take an exam and they don't pass, then they can't get that money anymore.
You have to pay to take the exam. Problem solved. You have to pay $50 to take the exam. Bam.
Okay, but then if they fail it, then 4 years from now they can't get the license renewal fee.
Well, they just take the test again.
It's like a subscription.
Yeah. Did you hear about that one car that tried to make it like, oh, you bought the car? Okay, well, it's $20 a month to be able to use the heated seats. Oh, but it's an additional like $15 a month to be able to use the cooling seats. And like, you bought this car, you own this thing, but you have to pay a subscription to be able to use the things in the car.
Or what about Ford? They actually just filed a patent allowing the car to repossess itself and turn off features like auto lane detection and all of this each month until like if you're like if you're a month late on your payments, it'll start turning off different features like month after month until it's just like, fine, I'm going back home, and it'll repossess itself back to a dealership.
But how could it do that if you just stabbed the tires? Would it just would it know if it had a flat if it tried to drive itself back to the dealership?
Probably.
And like, what if it's I don't trust a vehicle driving itself all the way to a dealership because self-driving technology isn't there yet. Tesla can't even get it fully down, and that's like Tesla's thing. So if Tesla can't get it down, there's no way Ford can get it down.
Yeah. There's no way.
No, I've seen some that I'm sure I wouldn't trust it at all. I've seen some that's pretty impressive. And it's crazy.
It's going to be one of those things where a generation that grows up with it, it's going to be normal to them. But for us, a car driving itself is such a weird concept. But then you're going to get kids who start to grow up during the era of self-driving cars, and that's just going to be from then on the norm. Nobody's going to really question it.
I've been having a lot of climate anxiety recently, so I don't think we're ever going to get to that point. We've got about 30 years. That's quite fun. Build a bunker.
No, it's the whole climate change thing is so astronomically annoying, being told by companies like GM and Ford and Walmart company and like Amazon, like, you need to recycle your bottles. I'm like, how about you stop dumping billions of gallons of pollution into the air first, and then maybe I'll care about recycling my bottles. But
what's upsetting is that someone like engineers have done the math on this, and it's basically like, don't let this stop you because every little helps. But if every single human being did all of the things you're supposed to do, like no plane travel, no one had kids, although that's anyway, and everyone recycled and all of this stuff, if everyone did everything they were supposed to do, it would not be enough. It's not an individual matter. It still wouldn't be enough. It needs to be the big businesses. Mm-hmm. It needs to be those people that are doing it.
And the problem
but they won't.
Yeah, the problem is money. And you just have a bunch of old hacks who are like in their 60s or something, and they're going to be like, well, we'll be dead, and our generational wealth will pass on to their kids so they can afford to protect themselves so we don't care about anyone else.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's just not fair. Like in America, like we are going off in so many different ways, but like the Social Security fund's going to dry up probably before I'll be able to use it. So why the heck do I have to pay Social Security tax?
Look at Paris. You don't have to look any further than that. The reason they keep pushing back, and I was actually talking about this with my mom's boyfriend not that long ago. The reason they keep pushing it back is because there's no money. Everybody's like, no, we want to retire when we want to retire, and they're like, the reason they keep pushing it back is they're hoping that the money's gonna magically reappear into your savings accounts. It's not. The government doesn't want to get caught. So
I think it's time for a worldwide revolution. Rise up, people.
For legal reasons, this is a joke.
Yeah, it is a joke. I laughed at the end of it. I laughed. Okay, it's a joke. We're all fucked.
I don't know, like riots and things, they might spread to other places. I can see that happening in London.
Yeah, no, it's
especially since we're so close and so similar culturally.
Yeah, see, but if it happened in America, it would be blamed on Antifa and BLM and it's just violence for violence sake. And
yeah, you guys are definitely at a disadvantage because you're such a massive country with so many different people leading different things.
Yeah,
that it's quite hard for you guys to, and correct me if I'm wrong, to kind of mobilize.
See, I saw it put, and then I keep trying to pull us off of politics, but
here I can do it right now. Okay,
hold on. Let's just say, Perry, did you ever say what games that you're playing?
I'm finishing up the Elden Ring run.
Yes.
And then I'm
going. That's right.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna go hands free on things like Mario Kart or something.
So do you think there's ever going to be an Elden Ring 2? Or do you think it's going to be like, because like there was Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3, but then also like Sekiro was its own thing, right? And so is it going to be a one-time spin-off?
Well,
they're definitely going to make more.
Yeah, because Bandai Namco published the Dark Souls trilogy. Sony published Bloodborne, that's why it was only a one-off. Activision published Sekiro, that's why it was only a one-off. And then Elden Ring is back with Bandai Namco for Elden Ring. Yeah. So that's probably why it's getting its expansion. And
I can't imagine that they'd make an Elden Ring 2. I imagine they just expand Elden Ring because it's such a massive game.
It got so popular.
They probably want to capitalize on that as well, to be fair. But I reckon they'd produce a different one, like a different world or something that's slightly. Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine because it's such a massive project and it did so well. They might not want to necessarily disgrace it or something else.
Yeah.
But I think we're definitely not done with DLCs. There's one coming out, but there's going to be way more, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. So you guys heard, and I don't know if Perry was here when we initially talked about this, but Counter-Strike 2. Yeah. So like it's a thing, it's actually happening, and there are some people who are really, really excited for it. But then also, I'm not a huge Counter-Strike fan. And so what are your thoughts on the fact that they're basically just reusing the same maps, the same guns? They're basically just giving it a new coat of paint. So I think calling it Counter-Strike 2 is a little misleading because it's just kind of a new coat of paint, modern graphics, a couple physics changes, but they're using the same maps, the same guns, the same sounds, the same everything. It's not a 2, it's more like a 0.2.
Well, it's kind of like because and I've been trying to I've noticed I ask you guys questions and then don't answer myself. So one of the games that I'm playing right now is Resident Evil 4 remake. So it's kind of like that, right? Where Counter-Strike 2 is using the same maps, but just physics improvements, same guns, but probably slightly different look because of the new engine. You know, same sounds, but they probably also sound a little better because of new sound technologies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look at like RE4 remake, like so fucking beautiful. But the question is, are they going to expand on it similar to how RE4 remakes been expanded? Valve. But like, look at Team Fortress 2. Didn't they just get new maps and stuff? Like they just had a recent update, like out of nowhere.
Well, the update wasn't out of nowhere. TF2 was in a very bad and broken state, and there was literally bots. Like, imagine you join a multiplayer lobby in Call of Duty, but you're just fighting bots, and the bots are becoming better and better and better, and people are using bots to populate servers, so it looks like there's like, oh, hey, you know, this game's old, but this server has 31 out of 32 people on. I'll join, but all 31 other people are bots. Like, TF2 had a big bot problem. And so Valve is trying to go in and stop people from cheating, and they're just basically updating a game. Like, I want to circle back to AI actually here, because, you know, parkour podcast. There's a group of people developing an AI that can detect cheats, because there are like aim assist cheats on PC, like using a Cronus or whatever, like some of the most popular Twitch streamers do. Like Nadia and probably Ten the Tatman and Dr. Disrespect, they all probably cheat and don't admit it because they have to look like they're better than everybody else, and they're older gamers as well. So I don't buy, you know, the older you get, the worse your reaction time gets. How is he better than the top 20? Like whatever, but
allegedly,
yeah. Right. Well,
you got so serious, like your face just like. I don't like these accusations that you're spewing upon my people.
So Nadia has even said herself, like at an event, she was caught on camera saying, "I don't have my Cronus with me. I'm not going to do that good." So it's pretty.
She does make a lot of jokes like that.
Yeah,
though.
it's fairly.
It may have been.
It might be a joke or it might be true, but if it is true, the fact that she's turning it into a joke, so people don't know if it's true. Megamind right there, played by her. But I personally don't like her that much. I think she should be banned from Twitch for doxing that person she doxed. Like, she read off his full name and address on stream.
No.
Yeah, somebody donated to her saying that, nah, haha, you're cheating, and she got mad. And it was a PayPal donation so she could see the person's actual legal name and not their screen name. And she read out their name and then also spelled it out as well.
Wow.
And, you know, I'm biased. I don't allegedly. Like Twitch personally. No, this happened. I have video proof of it. It's not allegedly. And so, she just got a pass for straight up violating Twitch TOS. If I would have done that, I would have been banned instantly. But, you know, I don't like Twitch, so their staff is. But that's me personally. But AI cheating the conversation with that is somebody's developing an AI that can just know without like, not without fail, because AI aren't 100% accurate 100% of the time, but like with a 99.19% failure rate, like, or accuracy rate or whatever, they can detect if somebody's using a cheat. And it doesn't matter what kind of cheat it is. They can detect it based on the footage they have. Like if you get killed by somebody cheating, you can submit that footage to this AI developer and they'll use it to help the AI continue to learn. And supposedly there's 1 out of every 3 people playing a game is cheating online. Now, I don't know if that's like an accurate statistic or not, but in the video that I watched about this, somebody's like, yeah, on average, like, 1 out of every 3 people in a multiplayer lobby are cheating. And so I think that having a AI that can come in and just completely wipe the floor with cheaters is awesome. Like, because I don't cheat. I've never cheated in an online game before. I actually like try to be good. So, I mean, do you play FPS online or like shooters online, Perry, at all? Like, do you play Overwatch or Counter-Strike or Call of Duty or Halo or anything like that?
I play Valorant with friends, but I'm terrible at it. But I do frequent Halo Infinite. Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever been killed by somebody and you're just like,
Sometimes I'm looking at them and it's just like, I was behind a wall.
Yeah.
And you were across the map and that was like a 1 hit and you did that like 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so with this AI, you can submit that footage and it'll basically be able to tell you almost without fail whether or not that person was cheating. And what they want to do is try to just straight up, like, and this is where I don't know if I agree with this, but just ban them from online gaming. Because if this AI gets in and is implemented into most major developers and most major titles and most major publishers, it'll be able to be used to detect your actual, like, your
It'll
movements.
essentially have a log. Like, this IP address uses this cheat on this game. They shouldn't be allowed to play this game.
Yes, but then also, let's say you get banned for toxicity or something like that, right? Like you were saying vile and disgusting things in chat, or maybe you were just griefing in CSGO and you get banned. It'll be able to keep a biometric profile of the way you specifically play the game. So if you try to ban evade, it'll know it's you. And
See,
ban
I can definitely see that being abused though. Oh, I don't like this person. I don't think he should be able to play my game, regardless of him buying it. Let me just say that he was being toxic, and now he cannot play any of the games that use my service.
I mean, I don't see that happening with the 2 guys developing this AI cheat thing, but...
Yeah, but okay, but if it becomes widely adopted, they're going to have a team behind it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. They're trying to... It's still in its very early stages.
Human correction.
Trust me, there's probably things we can't even think about that they've already thought about and they're already working. But they're working with 2 developers to already implement this into like big budget AAA games, which is kind of crazy. But like, I like the idea of, I think that person was cheating. I'm going to throw it in this AI. And the AI is like, yeah, they were.
Yeah. But I think that's all we have time for today, guys. But yeah, Ryan, you want to take us out?
Sure. Yeah, this was a roller coaster. We went up and down, twisted around, went down some rabbit holes, came back up. It was an interesting podcast today. But thank you everybody for listening. I'm Ryan, or Release Radar on YouTube, and here with me I have Perry,
who is a Twitch streamer, otherwise known as Pericarial,
and then Caleb.
Hey, this is Caleb Boudreaux, the editor-in-chief of AnExtraordinaryLife.online. Awesome. Y'all have a good one.
Remember, don't plug in random USB drives into your computer. Stay safe out there, gamers.
Yeah. It's that old adage, don't be a silly rap your willy.
I've never heard that before.
Wait, you've never heard of that before?
Don't be a silly rap you willy, or don't be silly rap your willy?
Rap your willy. Like,
okay, I've heard that one. Oh man.
Come on.
Yeah, so you've played,
how
have you
old
played? I'm 23. I'm about to turn 24.